Hello fam, today's story is about love, a special feelings, two-person can bond, so special that it can overcome all problems, so let's begin. Scott and Nia had been high school sweethearts, and after years of dating, they finally tied the knot in a beautiful ceremony surrounded by their closest friends and family. They both couldn't believe EY had found their soulmate at such a young age, and they were looking forward to starting their new lives together as a married couple. Little did they know, their idyllic marriage would soon be put to the test by an unknown villain. This person had been watching them from a distance, filled with jealousy and hatred for their perfect relationship. They wanted nothing more than to tear them apart and make them suffer the way they had been suffering. The villain was the actual owner of the beautiful estate, where Scott and Nia had decided to start their new life. They had inherited it from their deceased parents and had moved in shortly after their wedding. However, what they didn't know was that the estate had a dark history. It was said that the previous owner, a wealthy businessman, had committed suicide on the property after losing everything in a failed business venture. An airy presence seemed to linger in the halls of the grand estate, but Scott and Nia never paid it much attention. They were too busy enjoying their newlywed bliss. But as time went on, strange things started to happen. Objects would move on their own, doors would slam shut, and they would often hear faint whispers in the dead of the night. Nia was the first one to notice the ghost taking revenge. She woke up one morning to find a deep scratch on her arm, as if someone had clawed at her in their sleep. Scott dismissed it as a strange dream, but Nia couldn't shake off the feeling of being watched. As the days went by, the ghost's presence became more and more aggressive. It seemed to have a grudge against Nia, and it would stop at nothing to torment her. Scott was worried for his wife's safety, but he didn't know what to do to make it stop. One day, while they were out for a walk, they ran into an old man who had worked for the previous owner. He warned them about the estate's dark history and how the ghost of the previous owner was known for taking revenge on anyone who dared to live in his home. Scott and Nia were terrified but determined to fight back, and prepared to face the ghost head-on. The villain had also been keeping a close eye on them, and he saw this as an opportunity to make his move. He had been planning on using the ghost's presence to drive Scott and Nia apart. But seeing them stand up against it together made him angry and desperate. He started to manipulate the ghost's actions, causing it to become more violent and dangerous. The ghost started to kill one person after another, using their fears against them. Scott and Nia were trapped in their home, fighting for their lives as the ghost showed no mercy. But they refused to give up, their love for each other giving them the strength and determination to survive. In the final showdown, Scott and Nia managed to defeat the ghost by using their love and understanding of each other to overcome their fears. They also managed to defeat the villain, who was revealed to be the previous house owner's business partner who had driven him to suicide and wanted revenge on anyone who lived in his home. With the ghost and the villain vanquished, Scott and Nia were finally able to truly start their married life together. The estate was still haunted by the ghost's presence, but Scott and Nia had learned to live with it and even started to see it as a protective presence rather than a malevolent one. They realized that their love was stronger than any ghost or villain, and they knew they could face any challenge that came their way. And so, Scott and Nia lived happily ever after, proving that no matter what challenges they faced, their love would always prevail.